The rain started before sunset, soft drops falling through the forest, and somewhere far away from civilization, man and his dog arrived at this wild lake. Wild, beautiful green trees, and now came here before. As the rain continued falling over the forest, I finally found a large tree near the lake where I decided to set up camp for the night. The ground was wet everywhere, and cold wind moved through the trees, but this spot felt safe enough to stop and rest. I carefully placed all my bags and camping gear under the tree to keep them protected from the rain. Every piece of equipment was soaked from the long journey, and my clothes were heavy with water and mud. After taking off my wet jacket, I grabbed my tools and began preparing the area for camp. The forest floor was covered with broken branches, thick bushes, and tall wet grass. Before setting up the tent, I needed to clear the ground properly. Slowly, I started cutting small branches and removing obstacles one by one. The sound of the tool hitting wood echoed quietly through the rainy forest. My dog stayed nearby, watching everything carefully while occasionally running around the trees and smelling the fresh rain air. Even though the weather was cold and uncomfortable, there was something peaceful about working alone in nature like this. No noise from cities, no people, only rain, trees, and the sounds of the wilderness. Step by step, the area slowly became cleaner and more open. The muddy ground underneath was finally visible, making it possible to place the tent safely. The rain kept dripping from the branches above while fog slowly moved across the lake in the distance. Moments like these make camping feel like a real adventure. Not luxury, not comfort, but survival, peace, and connection with nature. With tired hands and cold fingers, I continued working until the campsite finally started looking ready for the night. Now, with the area cleared, it was finally time to build a shelter and prepare for a long rainy night beside the wild lake. The forest feels cold, quiet, and alive, far away from busy roads and crowded cities. I finally arrived at this peaceful wild lake with my dog to spend the night in nature. The air smells fresh. Wet trees, cold wind, and soft rain create a feeling that is impossible to find in normal life. This is not luxury camping. This is real wilderness camping in the rain. The journey here was difficult. Mud covered the road. The weather became colder every hour, and the clouds above the mountains looked darker and heavier. But sometimes the hardest journeys lead to the most peaceful places. As soon as man reached the lake, he searched carefully for a safe place to build camp before darkness arrived. Hefter found a large tree near the water where the ground looked slightly higher and safer from rainwater. Everything was wet already, my boots covered in mud, my jacket heavy from the storm. But this is part of the adventure. I removed my jacket, grabbed my tools, and started clearing the area for the tent. The forest floor was covered with branches, wet leaves, and thick grass. Slowly, I cut small branches and cleaned the ground piece by piece. The sound of rain falling through the trees mixed with the sound of my tools cutting wood. My dog stayed close beside me, watching quietly while sometimes running around the campsite and exploring the forest. Nature feels different during rain. The colors become deeper, the sounds become softer, and every small moment feels peaceful. After working for some time, the camping area finally became clean enough to set up the tent. Fixed the tent and carefully fixed everything into the wet ground. The wind tried to shake the shelter, but slowly everything became secure and stable. Finally, after a long time in the cold rain, the tent was standing beside the lake. Carried all bags and equipment inside before the weather became worse. The inside of the tent felt warm compared to the cold forest outside. But the adventure was not over yet. Tonight's dinner still needed to be caught. Picked up my fishing equipment and prepared the bucket with some water and fish bait. Then carefully removed the fishing rod from my bag and fixed the hook and line slowly while sitting under the sound of rain. The lake looked mysterious in this weather. Fog moved slowly over the water while rain created thousands of tiny circles across the surface. Everything around me felt calm and silent. Placed the bait carefully onto the hook and walked toward the edge of the lake. The cold wind from the water touched my face as I slowly cast the fishing line into the dark, rainy lake. And now, the waiting begins. Fishing in the rain teaches patience. No noise, no distractions, only water, wind, and silence. My dog sat beside me quietly, staring at the lake as if waiting for the fish too. Sometimes adventures are not about action or danger. Sometimes adventure is simply escaping the noise of life and finding peace in nature. The rain became heavier again. Drops hit the surface of the lake while distant thunder echoed somewhere beyond the mountains. The forest looked darker now, but strangely, the storm made this place feel even more beautiful. Sat quietly near the lake, listening to nature. The sound of rain on leaves, the movement of water, the cold wind passing through the trees. The forest looked darker now, but strangely, the storm made this place feel even more beautiful. I sat quietly near the lake, listening to nature. The sound of rain on leaves, the movement of water, the cold wind passing through the trees. These are the moments people forget about in modern life. Nature slows the mind. Out here, nothing matters except survival, peace, and the present moment. After some time, movement suddenly touched the fishing line. A fish. Slowly and carefully, I pulled the rod upward while rain continued falling around us. Finally, tonight's dinner was secured. Back at camp, the next challenge was building a fire in wet conditions. The wood was damp, and the cold wind made everything difficult. But after patience and effort, small flames slowly appeared between the wet branches. Soon the fire became stronger. The warm orange light reflected beautifully against the rain and darkness around the camp. Fire during rainy camping feels special. It gives warmth, comfort, and safety in the middle of the wilderness. I prepared the fish beside the fire while my dog rested nearby, enjoying the heat. The smell of food cooking outdoors is different from anywhere else. Fresh air, rain, smoke, and nature make even simple food feel unforgettable. Night slowly covered the forest completely. The lake disappeared into darkness while fog moved silently between the trees. Only the firelight remained visible beside the tent. The temperature dropped lower and lower. Rain continued tapping softly against the shelter while cold wind moved through the forest all night. Some strange sounds echoed far away in the darkness. Maybe birds, maybe animals moving through the forest. This is their world. We are only visitors here. But despite the darkness and storm, everything feels peaceful. No stress, no crowds, no pressure from the outside world. Only calm nature. Sometimes people search for happiness in expensive things, but peace can be found in very simple moments like this. A tent beside a rainy lake, a warm fire, a loyal dog, and silence. As the night became deeper, the rain slowly became softer. The storm that once felt powerful now sounded gentle and relaxing. I sat quietly near the entrance of the tent, watching the fire burn while the lake rested silently in the darkness. Moments like these remind us how beautiful simple life can be. No luxury, no distractions, only nature and peace. Tomorrow morning may bring sunshine, or maybe another storm. But tonight, this wild rainy lake feels like home. Thank you for joining this peaceful rainy camping adventure. Relax, enjoy nature, and escape the noise of the world for a little while. See you in the next adventure. The forest around the lake feels alive. Tall green trees stand quietly under the falling rain, moving gently with the cold wind. Every leaf shines with fresh rainwater, and the deep green color of nature becomes even more beautiful during the storm. The air smells fresh and pure. Wet grass, tree bark, and cold mountain wind create a peaceful feeling that cannot be found in cities. Looking around this forest feels calming to the mind. The trees here have probably stood for many years, silently watching every season pass by. Rain, snow, storms, sunshine. Nature continues its journey without stopping. The sound of wind moving through the branches feels relaxing, almost like nature itself is breathing slowly. Small drops of rain fall from the leaves above, creating soft sounds across the forest floor. Fog slowly moves between the green trees, making the wilderness feel mysterious and beautiful at the same time. Far away from roads and human noise, this place feels untouched. Birds hide quietly in the trees while the lake reflects the dark green forest around it. Everything here feels peaceful. Nature has a strange power. It slows the mind and removes stress without saying a single word. Sitting beside these tall green trees during rain feels like escaping from the modern world completely. No pressure, no noise, only fresh air, rain, and the peaceful beauty of the forest. Even the cold weather feels comforting here. The deeper I walk into the trees, the more silence surrounds me. Only the sound of rain touching leaves and the soft movement of wind through the branches can be heard. Moments like these remind us how beautiful simple life really is. Sometimes peace is not found in luxury or crowded places. Sometimes peace is simply sitting quietly in nature, surrounded by green trees beside a rainy lake.